Welcome back to the IBFP. Here's your host, Boxing New.
Jaron Boots Ennis tells Terence Crawford, there's nobody left to fight but me. And look, let's break it down honestly and objectively as possible. And as you all know, Jaron Boots Ennis has signed a multi-fight deal with Eddie Hearn's Matchroom Boxing. And Jaron Boots Ennis was asked if he believes Terence Crawford wants to fight him. And he states, and I quote, "I'm not sure. He said a few times he's not looking my way. I'm not a big enough name. But there's nobody left for him to fight. Either you fight me or you fight nobody." Now that's an interesting statement from Jaron Boots Ennis. You remember that Terence Bud Crawford threw his belt in the trash so he wouldn't have to fight Jaron Boots Ennis. This the same Terence Crawford who said he'd rather fight Tank at 147 than fight Jaron Boots Ennis. Now what's interesting is when you look at all of Terence Crawford's fight options, you see that Sebastian Fundora is talking about either fighting Errol Spence Jr. or Tim Tszyu. And Tim Tszyu is coming off of a loss, and Terence Crawford has no interest in that fight. So Terence Crawford is not interested in Tim Tszyu off of a loss. He's not interested in Errol Spence Jr., and Fundora is not interested in Terence Crawford. And on top of that, Terence Crawford, his other option for a fight is Chris Eubank. Chris Eubank who's one fight removed from being knocked out by Canelo Alvarez's leftovers. Or Terence Crawford, who's lined up for the WBO world title. Josh Kelly is his likely opponent if he fights him for the vacant belt and he doesn't fight Sebastian Fundora. But fighting Josh Kelly makes no sense to me, and this is why. Terence Bud Crawford has spent his whole career fighting nobodies for belts. You've been fighting paleteros for belts. This is your chance in your time in your career where the big fights matter. And Josh Kelly, even for a vacant belt, it's not a big fight. So why waste time with a guy like Josh Kelly? It doesn't make any sense. You're going to fight a nobody for a world title and a vacant belt? No, Terence Bud Crawford should fight the best fight available, and that's Jaron Boots Ennis. He's highly skilled. And Eddie Hearn, I'm sure he would love to stage a massive pay-per-view. Terence Bud Crawford is a promotional free agent, so there should be zero problems with making that fight happen, especially on DAZN.